Hey y'all, welcome back to Your Place, the podcast where we talk about things that we usually keep quiet. I'm Lexi, I'm your host, your coach, and your friend. This is the place where you're going to feel seen, heard, and reminded that you're not alone. And today we're going to be talking about something that a lot of us keep deep down inside of us, and that's the feeling of feeling not enough. Feeling like we're not smart enough, not pretty enough, not skinny enough, not successful enough, not productive enough, lovable enough. If you've ever had this pit in your stomach, this inner whisper that says that you're not enough, you're broken, you're not the only one. And you don't have to carry this alone. Let's get into it. Hey y'all! Okay, welcome to today's episode of talking about feeling not enough. To begin though, I do want to share some exciting news about my coaching company called Joy Haven Coaching. If you're not already following me on Instagram or have the link to my website, go follow me. It's joy.haven.coaching, and I would love for you to follow me. Second of all, I have decided to open up 3 more spots for my coaching clients. I have enough time to be able to start coaching 3 new people. The first call is completely free, and I want to help you guys as much as I can. I feel like for me, what will happen is I'll get in these ruts, and when I'm in the ruts, I don't have therapy or life coaching calls set up. I want to be the type of coach that when you're in those ruts can send me voice memos, see if I can call, and let's set up some time where we can chit chat in that moment that you're going through the struggles. So that's the type of coach that I am. Go check it out, sign up, all the things. I will make sure that I link my website and my Instagram in the show notes. So make sure you go check it out. But let's dive into things. Okay, guys. So today we're going to be talking about feeling not enough. I feel like this is so personal because I feel this a lot of times, and I want to teach you how I've kind of overcome the majority of it and how I work through a lot of it and kind of the reasons why we believe that we're not enough. And that's where I want to start. Why and where did this come from? Like, why do we as human beings feel like we are not enough? All right. And there's 3 main things that I want to talk about. All right. Let's get to the root of this so that we really understand the reason why we have these things come up. Number 1 is that we have childhood messaging that has been programmed in our minds, okay? So maybe when you were younger, you were compared to your siblings, okay? Maybe when you were younger, you were praised when you were able to get good grades, when you looked a certain way, when you stayed quiet, when you acted easy. These are all programming us to believe that in order to be enough, we need to act a certain way, right? In order to be smart enough, we needed to get certain grades. In order to be worthy of our parents' love, we needed to act a certain way. In order to be the favorite child or seen as a good kid, we needed to act X, Y, and Z to receive love from our parents. This programming, since we were little, is no one's fault. But that's one of the biggest reasons why we feel like we are not enough, is because we feel as though the way that we act, the things that we do, determine our worth. But that's not true, okay? But that is one of the reasons why we really feel this conditioning. It's been set inside of us since we were a child, all right? Number 2 reason is we might have had some type of transition or trauma in our life that has kind of brought up this feeling of not enough. All right, so the number 1 is a breakup, right? You might have had a really deep relationship, you grew super close to someone, and then all of a sudden they break your heart. Well, that's going to make you feel as though you are not enough. Someone that you loved so much, they knew every part of you, and they didn't want you. And that makes you feel as though you're not enough, okay? Maybe you didn't get a job. You worked so hard, you studied for it, you prepped for it, and you didn't get it. That might make you feel as though you are not good enough for that job or for any type of experience that goes along with it. Maybe it's a health journey that made you feel as though like your body betrayed you. I know I have been through that, where I have had rashes head to toe, and it's made me feel as though I am not enough. All right. You start to then believe that it's you. You are the problem. you're not smart enough, you're not fun enough, you're not good enough for these experiences, these boys, these situations to work out. Okay, so that's number 2, is you have some type of transition, some type of trauma that happens that really hurts you to the core and makes you question if you're enough. All right. Number 3 is this social media and perfect life. All right. So we find ourselves scrolling social media all the time, and you see people with like the perfect body, right? The thriving career, their fiance or their happy marriage and their kids and their perfect morning routine. And without even realizing it, you're now comparing yourself to them and thinking you're not enough. Your life's not enough. Your habits aren't enough. Your morning routine is not enough. Your body is not enough. Do you see where I'm getting at? Subconsciously and consciously, this happens when we scroll social media. All right? I want you to pause and take a deep breath with me. This isn't to shame ourselves. Okay? This is just to show us that our belief of I'm not enough didn't start with us. Okay? But it's going to end with us. Okay, we might have been triggered by the way we grew up, trauma or transition, or social media, but that is not going to affect us anymore. And I'm going to teach you why, how, and what this looks like. All right. Let me tell you kind of how it shows up in your daily life. If you're feeling like, okay, maybe, this doesn't affect me, you're lying to yourself. And I'm going to tell you why. But also, for those of you who are listening, you're like, this is me. Let me just show you and tell you how it's you. Okay? Because this is all of us. It can show up like this. Maybe you say yes when you really want to say no. Maybe you over apologize. You obsess over what people think of you. You hustle for validation. You overwork, overgive, and overthink. Maybe this shows up in procrastination because you're afraid that you're going to fail. And maybe you don't try something that you really want to because you feel like you don't deserve it or you can't do it because you're not enough. All right? All of these things come from the thoughts that you're not enough. Right? When we say yes to something that we really don't want to do, is because we fear that that person is going to see us as less than we are because we're not doing something that is pleasing to them or making them feel like it's an approval seeking validation situation. All right. So those are the reasons why and how that looks when we feel like we're not enough and we have this in our life. Okay. But let me say with love, you were never meant to live your life proving your worth. You were born with worth when you were literally coming out of the baby's womb. You were born with worth the second that you were created by God. Because God is a perfect God. He does not make mistakes. And He made you. And you are made in the image of God. And you are enough just the way that you are. Because when you feel like you are not enough, you are really saying that God messed up. But God makes no mistakes, right? I want to share my personal story, all right? There was a time in my life where I felt as though I was never enough. I had just gone through a really hard relationship for about a year. In that relationship, I felt as though it was not the most healthy for me. I found that I was feeling as though I was never enough for this person, and I felt like I was constantly trying to prove my worth. And this didn't really have a lot to do with them, but more about me and feeling as though I was not able to live up to their expectations, my expectations. And so after the breakup, I still felt like that. I felt as though I was never going to be enough for someone because if I could give so much love to this person and it not be reciprocated in the way that I wanted to, I felt as though it was never going to be reciprocated. So coming out of the relationship, I would be hanging out with people, I would be on dates, and I would have the thoughts of, I'm not skinny enough, or I'm not pretty enough, or I'm too emotional, or I'm too much for this person. I'm not going to be able to give them what they want. And then I got really sick and I had rashes all over my body, and it became this really deep problem for me that I was just feeling as though I was not enough. And I believed it. And that belief really impacted everything in my life, my confidence, my choices, my health, my relationships with friends. But I want to tell you the main things that help me the most. Number one is going to therapy/coaching. Okay, those things really helped me a ton because it helped me to really just hone back in on what I truly believe and really come back to myself and figure out that I am enough, right? Rewriting my story, I created this terrible story that I wasn't enough and that the relationship didn't work because I was the problem, but in reality, I was not the problem. We both were the problem and it just wasn't the right fit. And then reconnecting with my body, really focusing on creating safe space for myself and then learning that my emotions are okay and I can feel them and I don't have to run from them. All right, as you're listening to this podcast, I want you to focus on those things. Allowing yourself to feel all the feelings, allowing yourself to be willing to go to therapy, to get help, to rewrite your story, to kind of figure out that cute little brain and how we can rewire it to stop thinking we're not enough and start thinking that we are. All right, so this is what you need to hear right now. All right, so here's the thing. I want you to hear this if you're stuck in this I'm not enough loop. All right, you are enough, just as you are. Not when you lose the weight, not when your skin clears, not when you get the degree, or date the guy, or buy the house. You are enough right now. Because the right person is going to see that. You are also the right person. You get to love yourself in the state that you're in. Because you're enough. And enough isn't the goal. Being enough is not the goal. Because you already are enough. The truth is that it's already yours. Your worth is already there. You are a daughter of God. And your worth does not change in the sight of God. And that's what matters. Other people are human beings and they will judge you and they will leave you and yell at you and fight you and not want you. But God will always want you. And you get to always want yourself. Because at the end of the day, that is what matters, is what you think of you and what God thinks of you. All right, so let's talk about my favorite tools to help us get out of this feeling like we're not enough. Okay, we know it's a problem. We know that we've been trained since we were young. We know we have trauma. We know that these thoughts come up and you are heard, you are valid, you are understood by me. I got you. Okay, I struggle with it too. But here are the things that help me the most. Number one is called name it, talk back. This looks like this, okay? When you start to realize that you feel like there's this voice in your head that's either comparing, you feel insecurity, or you feel fear, like scrolling on Instagram and I see that my friends are getting married and have kids. My mind might start to say, you are really behind. You must not be enough because you don't have a boy that wants to have a family with you. I would say to myself this, whoa there, brain. That's not true. Because I know that I am enough. And I'm learning how to love myself more. And I'm in this journey exactly how God wants me to be. So I'm going to name it first by saying, oh, there's my brain thinking I'm not enough. There's my brain stuck in fear. There's my brain comparing. There's my brain XYZ, fill in the blank. And then you're going to say this sentence, okay? And that's okay. Because I know that I'm enough in the sight of God. And I know that I'm in his hands. I am engraven on his palms so that every day he sees me and he is able to remember me and the struggles that I'm going through. And his plan's perfect. All right? That's number one. Name it, recognize, oh, my brain's doing it. Talk back to it. Remind yourself that that's not true. Okay? Number two is we want to start creating evidence that we are enough. And this is by creating an I am list. I am. Okay? I am blank. I am kind. I am trying. I am resilient. I am allowed to take up space. I'm allowed to be emotional. I'm allowed to be me. I am enough. Every single day, I want you to write down 5 things that you believe that you are. I am trying to be blank. I am trying to be confident. I am trying to be kind. I am trying to be patient. And I want you to start letting your brain see that you are a lot of amazing, beautiful things. I am messy. Sometimes I am crazy, and that is okay too. All right. And when you allow yourself to be your whole self, you're going to stop thinking that you're not enough. All right. Number three, this is the most important one. I want you to curate at your content in your environment. I want you to do an audit, a detox, whatever you want to call it. I want you to unfollow all accounts on Instagram, on social media, on TikTok that are making you feel small. Bye. Unfollow those. We don't have time for that. Okay? If they're hurting you, making you feel like you're not enough, even if it's your best friend, we unfollow it. I want you to start following people who remind you of how whole and amazing you are. This is going to change your life. When you scroll on Instagram, you're going to stop seeing people who are triggering for you and start seeing people who are filling you up and making you feel like you are enough. All right? And the third one is the most important one, I think, is surrounding yourself with people who are making your life better, that are not making you feel pressure, but are making you feel as though you are 10 out of 10 enough. And if they're not, then just take a break for a little bit. Maybe create a boundary. Spend less time. You're going to know what's best for you, but I promise you that getting rid of those toxic people in your life and taking a little less time for them is going to be so healing for you. All right? Let's talk about the friend, you that's listening, that feels like you're behind in life. All right? Let's talk about that friend who feels as though their life is not going the way that they want it to, and it makes you feel as though you're not enough. All right? Let's talk about the hard situations that we're kind of in. All right? Have you ever felt like you're the friend who can't catch up with everyone around you? Because all your friends are married and have kids, or maybe your friends have really big houses and you're just in a small little townhome. Or maybe you're not able to afford a house and you're just renting. And you feel as though you're not enough. Because someone else is ahead of you in life. And you feel as though your life is just not going that way. And you're stuck and you feel left behind. And you feel forgotten. And you feel frustrated at God because you don't want to be here, you want to be here. I understand. But I want to offer you this thought. What if you're not behind? What if you're on time? What if your story is not late? What if it's unfolding? What if every chapter of your life actually was perfectly planned to a T? What if? What if that's true? I'm here to tell you that it is true. That God has perfect timing for your life. That everything you're going through, the season that you're in, the situation that you're in is actually perfect for you. And so when you can let go of this feeling of feeling like you're behind because you're not enough, you're going to start living in the now, and you're going to start living for what God wants you to be living in. All right? So before I end, I want you to take a deep breath with me again. And I want you to just listen to me. Okay? You don't have to do anything right now. You don't have to fix anything. You don't have to achieve anything. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You just get to be you. And even here, you get to be just you. Because you're worthy of love. There's nothing wrong with you. You are not behind. You are not too sensitive. You are not too emotional. You are not too messy. You are not too late. You are exactly who you're meant to be. And every version of you has been doing the very best that they can. And if you feel broken, I want you to remind you that you are not broken. You are becoming. You are blooming. Even if you feel like you're not. Look at how much you've made it through already. All the days that you wanted to give up and you didn't. All the tears that you wiped in silence. All the ways that you showed up in life, even when you had a hurting heart. This is strength. This is beauty. This is enough. And if no one's told you that today, let me be the one to tell you. You are seen, You are loved. You are so much more than enough. Let this truth settle in. You don't need to hustle for worth. You don't need to shrink yourself to belong. You were always meant to take up space with your voice, with your dreams, with your heart, with your story. So walk out of this moment a little softer with yourself, a little more rooted, a little more whole, because you are enough. You are enough. You are enough. And you always have been. I want you to never forget that no matter what you're going through in your life, you are enough. Because you are a daughter of God. And He loves you. I love you. There are so many people on this earth that love you. And if you feel like there aren't, I promise there are. There are people who need you. To close off, I want you to remember this. You are enough. If you want more help with this, there's 2 offers that I want to help you with. DM me on Instagram. DM me the word enough, and I'll send you my 7 steps to success in life that are going to help you feel more enough. Number 2, I want you to share this episode with someone you feel like needs to hear this. Because I don't want them feeling like they're not enough, smart enough, pretty enough, kind enough, all the things enough. All right? I'm Lexi. This is your place. Until next time, take care.